Hi, today I want to talk to you about customer success stories. Okay, what is a customer success story? Well, a customer success story, you can kind of think of it like a testimonial, but it's a grander testimonial. It's actually a story instead of a little snippet of a quote. So it's the full story of what happened with your dealings with the customer. All right. So a customer success story, basically you think of it like a story. It's a good way, it's a good opportunity for you to tell a story to your potential customers about what you've done for your existing customers. Okay, so the way we would do a success story is kind of the way we tell any story. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I'm going to take you through in this video. I'm going to take you through how to plan out that success story and how to get the most out of it so that you can really convince your potential customers that you are the company to do work for them. Okay. So we've explained what a success story is. So how do we start to write one? Okay, the first thing you want to do is you want to give context to the story. So what do we mean by context? You want to set the reader up so they understand what this is going to be about. So the first thing you want to do to set context is to introduce the customer that you've helped. So you want to give a profile of the customer. So, what is the profile? This is best if you actually ask your customer that you are featuring, ask them for their profile. So you want to ask them for their boilerplate. And a boilerplate is that set text that a company usually puts everywhere where they want to be understood. It's usually at the bottom of their press releases. It'll be featured on their website somewhere. So ask your customer for that because it's important that you represent them in the way they want to be positioned. So if you get that from them, then it cuts down on your work. But obviously, you want to rewrite a little bit so it fits into your case study and if it's the length that you want in your case study. But then always have the customer have a look at it before it's published, just so they're happy with the positioning that's left, what you've put in there. So that's the context. So you will always start with introducing the customer, who they are, what industry they're in, what products and services they provide, who are their customers, etc. All right, so that is the context, setting the context. Then what you want to do is go into the challenge, right? So this is kind of the beginning of our story proper. You kind of separate the context a little bit, then we go into the challenge itself. So call it a challenge rather than a problem. It's a nicer word. And you want to now describe what challenge the customer had before you met them. All right. Why did they come to you? What were the difficulties they were facing that your solution could address? All right. So when you're doing this part of the customer success story, it's always good to get some quotes from the customer in there. Those quotes can be more emotive than just the description itself. It always helps if you actually get the customer's exact words. And that helps to resonate with the reader that's reading, because if they're in the same industry and they're reading the challenge and they have that challenge themselves and they read the words that your customer is saying, they're going to be able to resonate with that because they're probably saying exactly the same thing, right? So that is setting the challenge. So once you've set the challenge or you've described the challenge, now your reader is hooked because now they're thinking, okay, this is me. This is my problem. This is my challenge. I need to read more. What did this company do to help? Okay, so that leads on quite logically to the next section, which is the solution. What solution did you provide to the customer that helped them? And how did you implement it? So you're going to tell this through a story. And this is a way that allows you to describe your products and services, but not in a salesy way and not in a boring corporate way where you're just describing the products and services. You're actually incorporating them into the story. So it's a lot more interesting for the customer to read. It doesn't come across as if you're pushing the products. You're just describing what the products or services you provide did to help the customer to solve the challenge. Okay. Excuse me. So that's the solution. So in the solution part, you want to describe all of that. Again, put some quotes from the client. Another thing to think about in this section of the story is really wanting to take the reader through the whole process of working with you. What was it like to work with you? So what did you do first, second, third? Then you also need to cover, were there any challenges actually in the implementation process? What happened in the implementation process that maybe caused a delay, or you realized something else had to be done, so you came in as a consultant to solve that as well. So that positions you as an expert as well, that you're able to deal with possibly unforeseen challenges that came up during implementation, and you got them solved for the client as well. All right, so that is the solution. And then finally, the last part of your customer success story or your case study is the result. What result did you deliver for the client because you implemented your solution for them? All right. So in the result, really you want to show the transformation. So we already talked about the challenge at the top. We knew where the client was at the beginning of the story. By the end of the story, after the implementation, you should have provided some kind of transformation to their business in some way. All right, so you want to describe what that transformation is. Now, it's really good in the results part if you can actually give figures, actual concrete figures. You can go back to the client and say, could you give me some actual figures as to how things have changed for you because of what we've done? So it could be in terms of time saved, it can be money saved. If you can give actual money amounts, dollar amounts, and you can give hours saved and compare what it was like before and after, how much quicker is it for them to do their work, how much more accurate, etc. If you can actually give figures to that, that makes it an awful lot stronger. All right, so that is basically that's how you tell the story. So we've got the context at the beginning, who is the customer, then we have the challenge the customer was facing. Next, we have the solution that you provided and how you overcame any challenges with delivering that solution. And then the result at the end, preferably with some solid figures there as well. Okay. Another thing we add on to customer success stories, just to make it easy to read, easier on the eye, is we provide just a panel of bullet points of the key information, the key takeaways from the story that people can read. And we just call that an at a glance section, where they can just very quickly get the details of the case study without having to read the whole thing. That will pique their interest. Then they can go in and read everything that's in the case study. All right, or the customer success story. All right, so that is it. That's how you would write a story for your business that will help deliver much more value for your business than just a testimonial by itself. I think it's one of the best things you can do for your business, because people love stories, people read stories, and stories help people understand so much better. And if you can see yourself in the story, you're more likely to buy than if you don't. So having a customer success story is the way to go about and do that, really. So if you're wanting help with writing a customer success story, or you want to learn how to write a customer success story, then do contact me at proofperfect.com.sg and I will be pleased to help you. And don't forget also, if you're watching this on YouTube, just ring the bell, subscribe, just so that you get updates on all our videos as we put them out.